All right, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Conservative Input. We've had a lot going on. We've had a lot going on.
I know. Did y'all miss us?
Yeah, did y'all
We
miss
missed you
us?
guys too. Yeah, we missed you guys too.
See, me personally, I'm glad we took that break for Thanksgiving. It's no longer
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. It's not even close to Thanksgiving anymore. Actually, it's been like a week since Thanksgiving, right? About that? No, a little bit more than a week. But regardless, I know I had a nice break. Steven, did you have a nice break?
My break's been all right.
Yeah,
Just a good time for relaxing.
yeah.
Catching up with work.
Catching up
And
with work. Wait, Steven, where do you work?
I've no, I mean catching up with schoolwork.
Oh, schoolwork.
My
See,
homework.
there we go.
I
There we go.
I don't know. The terms those two terms could be that confusing to conflict.
Hey,
Anyways,
hey,
no.
you're fine. So yeah, we took a little bit of break. I know I said something about it on YouTube in a short, but I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You know, giving plenty of thanks for everything we have, especially in this amazing country we live in. Um, but I'm sure people up in Canada celebrate Thanksgiving. Do Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving?
I really don't know. I'm not Canadian. You gotta ask
Hey,
those
let
Canadians.
me let me look this up because I'm actually curious. Do,
Oh
do
my lord.
do Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving? It's an important question, Stephen. We need to know. We need to know what we have in common with our northern brethren. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, why do we have to? Okay, why do we care about them more than America? Like we are
No, no,
about
no, no, no,
America
no. See,
first.
we care about America, but we gotta care about Canada too. They may be a state eventually. I'm joking,
Oh come
but
on, dude. You're just
but
playing with my mind at this
but
point.
but for real though, imagine how baller it would be if we just had. Okay, get rid of the 50 states. I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, but imagine North America just being a country. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving Day, is an annual Canadian holiday held on the second Monday in October, which celebrates the harvest and other blessings of the past year. Outside of Canada, it's sometimes called Canadian Thanksgiving to distinguish it from Thanksgiving in the United States, held in late November. Thanksgiving has been officially celebrated as an annual holiday in Canada since November 6, 1879, where the date varied by year and was not fixed. It was commonly the second Monday in October. On January 31st, 1957, the Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey, issued a proclamation stating the day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed to be observed on the second Monday in October. Hey, well, I am very sorry, Canada. We did not take a break for your Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Um, but yeah, well, all of us in the United States, everyone in the United States, I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. Everybody outside the United States, um, I hope you guys had a nice regular November. um, but yeah, that's uh, that's why we gone. That's why we were gone last week. But in other news,
Mm.
Alec Baldwin did a thing again. Did you see the thing
Oh,
Alec Baldwin did?
let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So Alec Baldwin decided to do a little bit of an interview actually. And let's just say that he's a stinky face liar.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he's just like, look at this. He says just when you think Alec Baldwin can't get any lower. This is the New York Post, so it's gonna be an opinion piece, of course. I mean, it's talking about facts, but I mean, come on, Alec Baldwin being any lower, that's definitely a right wing kind of mentality. I mean, is it wrong though? So he blames Helena Hutchins, the woman he shot to death, for getting shot to death. Everything is at her direction. He says, "I'm holding the gun where she told me to hold it, which ended up right below her
What the
armpit, which is
frick?
what I was told. I don't know." So
Oh my god. Is he literally saying the quiet part out loud? Oh my god.
I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger at them. So the thing is, and like I've said before, I will leave I will leave this in the description below.
Oh
Um,
dear.
so the thing is, he was using a single action revolver. All right. Single action revolvers don't just shoot. Actually, no
Yeah.
guns just shoot, but especially single
Nah.
action revolvers. In order to shoot one, okay, you pull the hammer back and you pull the trigger.
Yeah. Like that. Oh my
You
god.
pull the
Yeah,
hammer
that's
back
that's
and you shoot
weird.
the trigger. So he
Yeah,
pulled
that's
the
weird,
hammer
dude.
back and he pulled the trigger. Now it can go off if you drop the gun.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if you drop the gun, the hammer flies towards the you know the firing pin. So
Oh lord.
on the single action revolver he had, the firing pin was attached to the hammer. So once the hammer goes forward, it hits the bullet, fires the bullet. So if he had the hammer pulled back and dropped the gun, it would have shot. But he had the gun in his hand the entire time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first of all, Alec, you shot the woman. Okay, first of all. Second of all, you did shoot the woman. Okay. Third of all, how in the world is it her fault? Okay, I don't care where she told you to point the gun. Clearly, you didn't make sure it wasn't loaded. Okay. Clearly, you have no proper firearms training because you decided to take her advice in pointing the gun at her, if that's what actually happened. I mean, the left always lies. So,
Why? Yeah. Why do the
every,
leftist liberals, they always get away with everything. The liberals, like the leftist liberalism, they always get away with everything, man. Like, come on.
they will do anything they can to demonize guns. Anything.
Bro, that's just ridiculous.
That gun looks scary. It shoots a 22. It shoots a 22. It doesn't do much. But yeah. Yeah, he Alec Baldwin's on the naughty list. He's not getting any presents for Christmas. I can
Oh no,
guarantee
no,
you
no,
that.
not at all.
He's getting a stocking full of coal. Let's be honest. I forgot to wear my Santa hat. I'm gonna start wearing my Santa hat to these starting next week.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
You're on the note. You get no presents.
Should should I quit school and just aspire to be a mall Santa?
Hey, bro.
Everyone, drop your opinions in the comment section below. Should I drop out of school and aspire to be a mall
Uh,
Santa?
guys, just tell him no. Just tell him no. He needs to focus on his actual career, like whatever. Like, unless if he's gonna get paid well to be a Santa, I wouldn't recommend it.
Hey, once getting paid once a year. I mean, no,
No,
I can go down to Australia. Wait, no,
no,
they still
don't, bro.
celebrate they
Don't.
still celebrate
That's weird.
Christmas. They have half Christmas
Bro, that's just weird. No,
in the southern
come on.
hemisphere. They have half Christmas. I'm
All
joking.
right,
I'm
okay.
joking. So our next story is about good old Chris Cuomo. Don't we just love Chris Cuomo? He,
No.
he's doing so many things. So
Nah, bro.
if if you're watching this right now and you're thinking we're kind of skipping over some pretty big things that have happened, don't worry, we'll get to them. We will definitely get to them. Do not worry.
Chris Cuomo got
Yeah.
fired.
And the funny thing is, look who's reporting it, Steven. CNN. CNN
Wow,
fires
they're gonna,
Chris Cuomo by
wow.
CNN. So,
Wow,
yeah.
now they said the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
Now they're gonna say the quiet part out loud.
So this Saturday, at first they put him on indefinite leave. Okay. Now they're saying this was today. Today. CNN said Saturday that anchor Chris Cuomo has been terminated by the network, effective immediately.
There's no content here.
The announcement
There's no content.
there's no I mean they've got a little bit. The announcement came after an outside law firm was retained to review information about exactly how Cuomo aided his brother, former New York governor, and for those of you who don't know, former New York governor Andrew Cuomo. Basically, was he forced to resign or did he resign?
I mean, I think he was forced to or something.
Yeah. when he
He
was accused of
resigned. It
sexual
was a
harassment.
temporary suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So CNN said in a statement, Chris Cuomo was suspended earlier this week pending further evaluation of new information that came into light about his involvement with his brother's defense. Basically, so what I heard, and I'm looking over here. What I heard that was that okay. So conveyed through text messages obtained by James' office, the text between the anchor and several aides and allies of the governor revealed Chris Cuomo sought to use his connections in the press to help prepare Andrew Cuomo's team as accusers started making their stories public. So what I heard was that he was stalking Andrew Cuomo's, his brother's victims.
What?
He was stalking them.
What? There's no. Oh my gosh, bro. This is just ridiculous, man.
Hey,
No, 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 no.
you never know. You never know. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, because stalking can mean anything. Like,
Oh, come on.
I'm
Really?
I'm pretty sure stalking is like,
Yeah, stalking is just. It should be like it's high offense.
yeah, it's like looking for someone or looking. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah,
Alright,
yeah, yeah. So I just looked it up. Stalking is defined as the unwanted or repeated surveillance by an individual or a group towards another person. So they don't have anything to do with intention. It's literally just unwanted surveillance or repeated surveillance. So there you go. He very well. Okay, so his accuser is if he was looking into the accusers, if he was surveying the accusers without their consent and it was not wanted, he was stalking them.
Oh my
Simple as that.
gosh.
Simple as that. But yeah, so now we're getting into the news. This is the big boy stuff. Have you heard about Ahmaud Arbery? I'm assuming you have.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
People have been talking about Ahmaud Arbery. Like, wasn't he the guy that was jogging and then he got shot?
Okay. So what happened is there. I'll pull up the story. Okay. So basically, what had happened was, I've got it pulled up for them. Let me pull it up for you, Steven. Okay. So what had happened was Ahmaud Arbery trial verdict. All three suspects found guilty of murder. So the three white men on trial for killing Ahmaud Arbery have been found guilty of murder in the fatal pursuit of the unarmed, Georgia, of the unarmed Georgia jogger. I was thinking that was a name. I was so confused. I was like, Georgia? Is his name Georgia? Travis McMichael, 35, and his father, Gregory McMichael, 65, and their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, 52, were tried together in the shooting of Arbery, 25, who they thought was fleeing a burglary. So, basically what the story is, that they were all convicted. There we go. Let me see. The neighbor who was in pursuit and filmed the video of the fatal shooting was convicted on all charges except malice murder because he was just recording felony murder with a shotgun and one count of aggravated assault. These are all three men right here, I'm assuming. Yeah, right there.
Oh my gosh.
So,
well, I mean, did you agree with the verdict, bro?
oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing the people on the left do not understand. They think they have all these gotcha moments, and I'm like, if they broke the law, if they killed someone, they deserve to be found guilty. So basically what the story is they thought he was fleeing the scene of a burglary. All right. I don't know if he actually stole something. I'm not too sure. But so the main question of the trial was it a felony or a misdemeanor? Do you know why that was the question?
What up?
Was the burglary a felony or a misdemeanor? Do you know that why that was the question?
Oh my god. I think it's more like burglary is like kind of a. I think it's a misdemeanor.
It depends.
Depends.
Depends on how much you steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it were a felony, they would have been allowed to perform a citizen's arrest.
Mhm.
If it were a misdemeanor, they would not be allowed to perform a citizen's arrest. They were trying to do a citizen's arrest. They came at him with a gun. Apparently, he tried to grab the gun, and they shot him.
Uh-huh.
If it were a felony, they would have been allowed to do a citizen's arrest, and them shooting him would have been an act of self-defense. But if it were a
Uh-huh.
misdemeanor, him trying to grab the gun from them would have been self-defense, and then they would have been unlawfully killing him.
Mhm.
So, they found the three men guilty of murder.
Mhm.
Because he had not committed a felony, citizen's arrest was not warranted, so they basically tried to unlawfully arrest a citizen. So, the thing, my biggest thing is, I hate how they don't pay attention to what we're trying to argue. Like with the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, you know, the right was saying he acted in self defense. He probably shouldn't have been there, but he was legally allowed to be there as much as everybody else was there. People attacked him, and he defended himself. Meanwhile, they're over there screaming, "Ah, he's a white supremacist. He's trying to kill everybody." And then,
Oh,
like we talked about in our last episode,
Mhm.
news stations were literally saying he shot and killed 3 black men.
Yeah.
They were literally saying that until they got caught and had to change it. So,
Wow.
but everybody knew that they changed it. So yeah, many people on the right. I feel like do you agree with the verdict of the Arbery trial?
I'll say yes.
Yes,
Mostly yes,
mostly
but
yes.
there's some like, but I think there was some I think like a little bit of complications that might have led. So some people they would dispute the verdict by saying like, oh, Ahmaud Arbery like did something, which which is like
And yeah, yeah.
made it just viable
See
for this
that
guy to shoot it like
that would be a
he like
warranted argument if he had committed a felony, which he did not.
yeah. All
Um,
right, yeah.
but I know what you meant. But so you agree with it, but you know there are some questions that could be raised about it. Yeah,
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 but I would say overall, I agree. Like whatever, honestly though, whatever I say about the verdict, about any verdict that's finished at this point is like invalid. To be
yeah. I mean,
honest,
it doesn't matter because regardless of what you say, the justice did its duty and justice was served.
yeah,
So yeah, me personally, I do agree with the verdict. I feel like many people agree with the verdict, and the left is so busy being inside of their echo chamber, they don't understand that we agree with them. It's the same thing like when people say, "Well, if women can't get abortions, then men shouldn't be able to leave without paying child support." And then you just see a bunch of conservatives in the comments saying, "Yes, yes."
yeah,
Like they're in their own echo chamber. They don't understand what we're actually trying to argue, and it's kind of irritating because we know what they're arguing.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, it's it's something. And now
mhm.
we're on to the I think not the biggest, actually probably the biggest, not the most. I don't know. It's kind of been buried under the bush. Especially from what's been happening with Rittenhouse and what's been happening with the Mississippi law that we will get into later. But it's definitely been buried. So our next topic is the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Is that how you
Oh
say it,
yes,
Steven?
that. Oh man, Ghislaine Maxwell. Wow.
Yeah.
She's a very suspicious person,
She is.
honestly.
She is very
But
sus.
the thing is though, like people are so quick to associate her and Epstein with Trump, but then it's like it turns out like Trump doesn't really like Epstein or something.
Well, yeah.
Or like
So the thing is, and the media will do this. What they'll do is they'll say something like, "Oh, Trump flew on Epstein's plane," but they'll ignore the fact that he was getting a flight to somewhere else. I can't remember
Mhm.
exactly what the story is. I'll have to look it up, but and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong in the editing, but I'm pretty sure it was not for the same reason as the rest of the people that flew on Epstein's plane. So Ghislaine Maxwell kept a degrading 58-page list of rules for Epstein House staff. So, alleged sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell apparently kept a 58-page list of rules, and this is by the Daily Wire. I love the Daily Wire, man. They're great. They just recently released their latest movie, Shut In.
Mhm.
Is that what it's called? I think so. Alleged
Yeah.
sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell apparently kept a 58-page list of rules dictating how staff of the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, by the way, estates were supposed to act, including the demand that they see nothing, hear nothing, and say nothing. The New York Post
Mhm.
reported that Epstein's former housekeeper, Juan Alessi, testified that Maxwell's trial about the very degrading way the couple treated staff. A 2005 manual detailing what was expected of staff was provided as evidence. They actually have an entire manual. Wow.
Mhm.
Staff needed to anticipate the needs of Mr. Epstein, Miss Maxwell, and their guest, stated the introduction of the manual, which made clear that disgraced media baron Robert Maxwell's
Mhm.
daughter was sharing the master bedroom with the perverted money man at the time.
Mhm.
Remember that you see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing except to answer a question directed at you. It warned on the first page of orders. The rules detailed a slew of instructions for each room, especially the master bedroom, which had to be kept at 60 degrees and have JE and GM telephone directories near the phone. A separate bedroom was not listed for Maxwell, though she had her own bathroom. Additionally, staffers were ordered to keep a gun placed in bedside table drawer. The manual also showed that Maxwell and Epstein were, perhaps, paranoid at the time of its writing, which was before Epstein was convicted for having sex with underage girls. Unless otherwise instructed, never disclose Mr. Epstein or Miss Maxwell's activities or whereabouts to anyone, the rulebook said. Do not be bullied, simply be firm. So,
Mhm.
do not eat or drink in front of Mr. Epstein, Miss Maxwell, and their guest. You are not expound on the weather or any other subject.
Mhm.
A list of common words and phrases were banned. Yeah, sure, gotcha, you bet. I don't know. And even no problem. So basically
Mhm.
what I'm reading, how I'm listening to this, it basically sounds like they were running their own like autocratic dictatorship. They made their own rules. They did whatever they want and nobody could say otherwise. And people knew about it.
Uh,
A lot of people knew about it.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna be honest. Trump may have known about it.
Mhm.
I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. If you had a lot of money when it was happening, you probably had a pretty firm idea on what Ghislaine Maxwell and Mr. Jeffrey Epstein were doing on their private island. So,
That is true. I mean, if we think about it here, it's like what literally just happened was just like, you know, you allowed this rapist, like this whole case to have gone loose. And like for Ghislaine Maxwell, we allowed this accomplice of a rapist and a child trafficker to just like go free, like just beyond the limits. It's like we knew about everything. And now it's like I don't even know what's gonna going on with the trial at this point. I don't know.
yeah. So,
Maybe she's probably gonna be convicted or something.
oh, I'm sure. Best case scenario, she gets convicted and is sent to
Yeah.
prison. But if that happens, we may be saying Maxwell didn't kill herself uh, here in a year or so. You know what I mean? It seems
Mhm.
like you can't really count on anything to be not suspicious, which is something that we should not have to worry about. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, so the next story. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard of the Waukesha massacre. People in the
Mhm.
audience listening or watching, whatever you're doing. Um, but
Yeah.
there's been a lot of talk about it, I guess. And did this happen? This happened. When did the Waukesha massacre happen?
What up?
When did the Waukesha massacre happen?
Oh, yeah. I think it happened like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know it
That
was
was
a
like,
few leaks, but I can't remember what the date was.
yeah. The Waukesha attack, that was on November 21st, man.
November 21st. Okay, I probably could have just gone to the Wikipedia article I have up, but so basically, this man, what he did was, and there's a video right here. I won't play the audio, but you can kind of. That's not what's happening at all. That is the. Oh, it's basically just giving that what happened before. So that they're pretty sure that was his like motive, the
Mhm.
Rittenhouse trial. So basically, Darrell Brooks, the man accused of intentionally plowing his SUV into a crowd of people at a Christmas parade in Wisconsin, killing 6 people with ages ranging from 8 to 81. 8 to 81,
Mhm.
whined that he feels demonized in a self-pity jailhouse interview. So like my thing is so as soon as this happened,
Mhm.
you saw the media go out of their way, literally
Uh-huh.
go out of their way to make it seem like it was an accident, you know.
It was not. It clearly was not an accident. What I heard, it was not an accident. This guy
Definitely not an
just
accident.
psychotically just drove his car in the middle of the street, killing people in the process. Oh wait, but the Kyle Rittenhouse. But when the media covered the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, they said, "Oh, this guy intentionally wanted to kill people
Yeah,
and
he
is
he
being
went out
crazy."
he went out to cause problems is basically what they said. But when it
Yeah, but
comes
that's not the story.
when
But
it
the Waukesha
comes
trial was like, "Oh, he had an accident. Oh, he was just committing." I said, "Wow, so biased, like so unbiased, right?"
yeah.
Of CNN, so unbiased.
Yeah, when you see like headlines about Kyle Rittenhouse, it was always white supremacist this, white supremacist that. When you see about the Waukesha massacre, it's car accident, SUV drives through. I didn't know SUVs can drive themselves. That's
Oh
crazy.
wow, yeah.
Absolutely. Was he driving a Tesla? Was he in a Tesla?
He was driving an SUV.
Yeah, I know. That was the joke, because Teslas
LOL.
drive themselves. Yeah, Steven,
That's what
keep
he
keep
drives. Yeah.
keep making fun of me, Steven. I'm joking with you.
Keep making fun.
I make fun of you all the time. I can't really say stuff. But anyways, so I have a Wikipedia article pulled up um that has been changed. And I know it's been changed because it did not say Waukesha parade attack when it was first published. It said Waukesha parade crash or whatever, or accident.
Oh
So,
my
yeah,
gosh. It's not
yeah,
an accident. It's not an accident.
yeah.
Come on. No, 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 no.
So, I think the story at first was that he was running from the cops, and to get rid of the cops, I guess he had to turn down this road.
Oh Lord.
But then the cop said he wasn't being chased. The cop
Oh
the
my
cops
god.
literally said he wasn't being chased.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
and then it came out that every single road he passed by getting to the parade was open. He could have driven anywhere, but he chose that road. I wonder why. Maybe because he was upset that an innocent man was found not guilty, and he wanted to do as much damage as possible. Just like somebody else wanted to do as much damage as possible. Steven, I'm sure you know what I'm referring to.
Oh my gosh. Bring it up.
I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. So this is the story about a young man who did something very stupid.
Oh my lord. Wait, what?
Um, so this is about this one specifically is about the students that lost their lives that day. And when was this? When did this happen? Blah blah blah. Oh God, when did the shooting happen, Steven?
Was it the Oklahoma shooting?
No, I'm talking about the Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin,
Oh,
Michigan.
oh wait, the Michigan high school shooting. That
Yeah,
was Michigan, Michigan high school shooting. Let's. Oh lord. Oh dear. There was a lot of stuff. That was like November 30th, 2021, or something like that.
that's when it was.
Oh wait. No, never mind. That's the Oxford high school shooting. Oh, where's the
Oxford High
where?
School. Oxford High School was the school.
Okay. I forgot. Okay. November 30th, 2021, a
Okay,
mass shooting occurred at Oxford High School in the Detroit suburb of Oxford Township, Michigan, United States.
dude, can you talk about who the kid was?
All right. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up again. This is just there's way too much to
Yeah.
you got a lot to unpack.
Well,
So
why?
we got a lot. We got a lot to. Okay, so authorities arrested and charged 15-year-old sophomore Ethan Crumbly as an adult for 24 crimes, including murder and terrorism. Like 4 students were killed in the shooting and 7 people were injured,
Yep.
including a teacher.
Yep. So I want to go over the students because we have their list of names right here. We have Madison Baldwin. She was 17.
Yo, what?
She was expected to graduate this year. Her family told CNN affiliate WDIV and had already been accepted to several colleges, some with full scholarships. Her
Dude, that's
grandmother,
horrible.
yeah, her grandmother Jennifer Graves, I'm gonna butcher
Yo.
that last name, whom Baldwin knew as Gigi, announced her family's loss on Facebook and created a GoFundMe campaign on behalf of Baldwin's mother and father.
Dude, that's horrible. She's about to graduate and go to college and move to Maryland, and her life just got taken from her in the process. Like, that is so messed up,
Yeah.
honestly.
So
Like, come on.
this is Tate. He's 16 years old. It's clear Tate was dedicated to his sport. He was a star football player who had earned a spot on the varsity team since he was a freshman at Oxford High School. Not only was he talented on the field, he excelled academically and was an honor student. It was a great grief. One of the victims of the tragic event at OHS today was one of our own, Tate. I'm assuming the last name is Meyer, but I don't want to butcher it. So Tate was a great young man with a bright future and was beloved by all. You will be missed, Tate. Um, so from what I heard about Tate was he actually got in the way of a bullet.
Oh, wow.
He
Dang.
jumped in front of the shooter, and he was an armed shooter. Okay, he was a terrorist. He wasn't some kid. You know, this was. He may have been 15 years old, but he's being tried as an adult for a reason. He went there intending to cause harm, intending to kill. If he wants to act that way, he'll be treated that way. This was a terrorist. He committed an act of terror. So,
Mhm.
and that's another thing. I'll get into it later. I want to finish these names. Hannah St. Juliana. She was 14 years old.
Dude, that's just no. No way. This 14-year-old girl's like she got taken away too. Like, dude. Oh my lord. This is how to remember. This kid, literally this kid that shoot out a whole bunch of people. Like, what the frick is that guy even doing, man? I can't even. I can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So we will never forget your kind heart, silly personality, and passion for the game. The team wrote on Twitter. She was part of the basketball team there. Since sixth grade camp, you have stayed dedicated to Oxford basketball, soaking in the game. The team stated Tuesday night it would have been her debut with the team. She didn't even get to play.
That's just so bad.
This
This
season,
dude.
this season we play for you, Hannah.
Yeah.
And then this is Justin Schilling. He's 17 years old. He died Wednesday morning. I'm assuming that was after the shooting. Um, he was a scholar who was part of the Oxford School District Bachelor. I never know how to say that word. Smart People program. He was a lettered athlete and a
Wait, which word?
this word right here.
He's part of the district bachelorette program.
I guess.
Bachelorette,
I guess.
bachelorette program.
Yeah.
A letter athlete and just scholarship awardee. Like, oh my gosh, dude, that is I can't even. Tim, I don't know what to say about this, but
Yeah.
I just can't believe this happened.
So yeah, this isn't cool, man.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And I hate that people can't just say something is terrible. Okay? Like it's always got to be about something else. It's always got to be
Yeah.
about something else, and it's irritating.
Gun control down. Gun
What
control. Yeah. Like, what the heck?
he was a terrorist.
Yeah, he was.
He committed terroristic acts. And my thing is, and I saw this actually. I don't know how I feel about it, but I feel like I kind of agree. There was a lady who is, I don't know if it was a news or if it was just like a personal like episode or like a
Mhm.
personal like podcast type thing. But it was this lady in a video, and she was like, they always use these pictures of them when they're like sweet little kids. Cause did you see the picture of him?
What? I haven't seen that picture. No.
What was his name?
His name is the guy who killed the 4 students.
Yeah.
Ethan Crumbly.
Ethan Crumbly.
Yeah.
Let's look up a picture of him. So, I'm sure it'll pop up. So this is what I'm talking about right here.
He got charged as an adult.
Yeah.
Wow. Lol. And his parents are charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Yep. And
Oh.
and we'll get to that case next. So this is his mugshot. All right. This is the image news stations shared of him.
Oh, wow.
My thing
Whoa.
is, why not share the mugshot? Why not show a more recent photo? I mean, you're sharing, like, you can see all these photos of him. This one was shared. This one was shared.
Oh, as if they're trying to say, like, oh, he's innocent.
This
or
one was
something like that.
shared. It's not about an innocent thing, but
Yeah.
the person I was watching drew a conclusion to race. I don't think it's necessarily race. I just think I don't know what it is, but I don't see it along race because Kyle Rittenhouse, he was always portrayed, the photos they showed of him were always the worst photos. And in this case, they showed photos of him looking like completely innocent, which I think was crazy. Here's him wearing this exact same vest that the Daryl Brooks was wearing. I don't know what that vest does. Is it maybe like a weighted vest to keep them from like moving fast or something? I don't know. But yeah. So we can actually go ahead and get into the next story because it is right here. Michigan school shooting suspects parents plead not guilty. So
What?
yeah. Basically his parents were charged with involuntary manslaughter because they bought a 15-year-old gun or a 15-year-old student, a 15-year-old kid, a handgun. They gave that boy that gun and he used it. You know? That's like handing someone a loaded gun and just telling them to shoot. 15 years old and you're giving him a pistol? Oh my god. It was a Sig, I think it was like a Sig Sauer.
Dude, that's sick, man. I can't.
I mean, I'm all for teaching kids, not kids, but I'm all for teaching teenagers. Hey, maybe even kids.
All right. What's up?
I'm all for teaching teenagers, how to handle guns, how to shoot guns, how to use them safely. But like he posted a picture of online of him like, hey, this is my new gun. I mean, like, what do we do with that? For everyone out there, don't give a 15-year-old a gun.
Yep.
Teach him how to
Do
shoot.
not-
Teach him gun safety.
Don't.
But don't give a 15-year-old a gun. A gun is a nice gift to give an 18-year-old. Once he's out of high school, once you know he's all good and he doesn't have any problems, that's going to lead to him doing something dangerous. If you've taught him proper gun safety and he's an adult, go ahead. But giving a 15-year-old a gun for a present, that's a no-go right there. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, you got one more thing. One more thing, Steven. Do you know what we're talking about?
Oh. Let's see what it is.
What did we miss, Steven? What did we not talk about yet? Very important.
Oh. I'm still thinking of it.
Rhymes with mobs and axon. No?
Lots of accent. Oh my gosh. No, oh my gosh.
Steven, you're killing me.
You bring it up, man.
You're killing me, Steven. We're looking at the Supreme
What
Court
do you mean I'm
case.
killing?
Dobbs
Oh,
versus
yeah, but
Jackson.
Dobbs versus Yeah, Dobbs versus Jackson.
Okay.
Oh yes, the abortion case. Yes.
Yeah,
Dobbs versus
so-
Jackson. Yeah.
Basically, what this story is, Steven, I'll let you read it.
So what happened is so Mississippi right now the state of Mississippi they just passed a law to ban abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The Supreme Court, they're gonna hear this case out. They're gonna decide whether this law may be upheld fully, partially, or not at all. Or if there are parts of the law that could be upheld. This could allow for states to enforce abortion restrictions before viability for the first time since the Roe v. Wade decision. What I do know is they're arguing this against it's for or against Missouri's anti-abortion law, and the arguments for the abortion argument for and against the abortion law they're expected to they're beginning to be heard on just a few days ago they started making the cases, but June we're not gonna get the final decision until maybe the summer of 2022,
Yeah.
sometime around June next year.
So, this source is Student for Life, so this is definitely opinionated. But one of the things, these are things that we need to think about, us pro-lifers. So this is a historic opportunity, basically, and it lays them out all right here. I'll share this. I won't read them because hey, leave something for the imagination. But basically, what the rub is since Roe v. Wade, innocent children, they're children. Life starts at conception. Let's be honest. How do you define life, Steven? How do you define life?
Well, life begins at conception. Life begins when the body forms in the womb.
Let's look up the definition of life, the actual definition.
Okay, there we go again.
Okay,
Okay, that's a basic school right there.
So, life is a characteristic that distinguishes physical entities that have biological processes such as signaling and self-sustaining processes from those that do not, either because such functions have ceased or because they have never had such functions and are classified as inanimate. So,
Wow.
let's go over this. Do fetuses have biological processes?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Obviously.
They have a heartbeat, they have nerves, and if they
Yes.
don't, they will very soon.
Yeah.
Inanimate. Now, they are definitely not inanimate ever. From the moment of conception, fetuses are not inanimate. Period.
Yeah.
cells are not inanimate. So the whole thing, like, oh, it's just a clump of cells, and they're not inanimate. They're living. We can't say, like, this right here. This is a Wikipedia article giving me this definition. And Wikipedia is super woke. Let's be honest. They called
It is woke.
the Waukesha massacre a crash, an accident.
Wow, yeah.
Right here. Wikipedia's own
So true.
definition says that they are that life is that wait. They never had such functions and are classified as inanimate. Or because from those that do not have self-sustaining processes or signaling or biological processes. Okay, so life is biological processes, signaling, and self-sustaining processes from those that do not, because they do not, their functions have ceased, or, not and, or, because they never had and are considered inanimate. So, any one of these classifiers, life, if something is not living, it either does not have any of the it does not have biological processes, signaling, or self-sustaining processes, or they have ceased to have biological processes, signaling, or self-sustaining processes, or because they have never had such functions and are classified as inanimate. So, fetuses are not inanimate. Therefore, they are alive. Hey, there we go. That may be a stretch for some people, but I don't care if it's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
That proves right there. So it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And the biggest thing is we have a 3-3-3 split on the Supreme Court right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 justices that we know are going to say that it's unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
The Mississippi law.
Yeah.
We have 3 justices we know are going to say the Mississippi law is constitutional. And we have 3, and you're going to be surprised by this. 2 of the 3 that we do not know are Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, Amy Coney Barrett. Yeah.
And Amy Coney Barrett is very pro-life, but we're unsure of what she's going to say. So,
yeah, I know.
What I see happening, and what happened with Roe v. Wade, first it was the first and second trimester were okay. And then it turned into viability during another case. They didn't overturn Roe, but they basically just modified it to say viability instead of the first 2 trimesters. So in this one, I can see what's happening. It being pushed back to a heartbeat nationwide. If there is a heartbeat, it cannot be aborted.
I just like it's a good step in the right direction. I wish like they could push like
that would be an amazing step in the right direction. But if this goes through the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court says, if 5 out of the 9 say yes, the Mississippi law is constitutional, there's already 20 states that would outlaw abortion. Like, for a fact. The other 30 would fight like hell to get to change the verdict or do something about the Supreme Court. But they couldn't do anything. The Supreme Court's the law of the land. Now, they need people to enforce it, but regardless, this is a really big deal. You know? And I feel like we've talked about abortion plenty of times.
Yeah.
And there was one time when we went over all the arguments from the left and kind of debunked them using Matt Walsh. Hey, Matt Walsh. He had an amazing thread where he basically just debunked everything. And every once in a while, I'll go on Twitter and just argue with people. I'm always on Twitter. I got one of my news sources from Twitter, actually. But you know, I'll go on Twitter and somebody say, I was arguing with someone at work actually about this. This wasn't on Twitter this time. And they said, well, it's the woman's body. And I'm like, is it the woman's body? And they're like, yes. I'm like, it doesn't have the same DNA as our body. And she was like, what? I was like, it doesn't have the same DNA. And she was like, and? She was like, if you're a man, you don't have the right. And I was like, so men can't get pregnant? She was like, no. And I'm like, that's kind of transphobic of you.
Oh
And then
Lord.
she was like, wait, what? And I was like, men can get pregnant. And she was like, men who have transitioned into women cannot get pregnant. And I was like, those aren't men, those are women. I'm talking about women who have transitioned into men who can still get pregnant. And she, you know what she said? You know what she said?
What?
She was like,
What?
if you've made the decision to change to be a man, you aren't allowed to have that opinion.
What the
So
fuck?
they're fighting against themselves now. They cannot stay consistent, period,
Yeah.
at all, ever.
Left has no consistent standards at all.
The
Literally.
only consistency they have, and this isn't the left, this is Democrats. The only consistency they have is the argument that they have.
Ugh. Yeah, they repeat the same old thing over and over again. Like, come on.
Yeah,
You know, Democrats are always gonna repeat that same old tired
yeah.
argument, like, "Oh, it's a woman's right to choose." Like, no, it's not, because it's a living being inside her body, man. Come
Well,
on.
the argument I'm talking about is the one the Democrats held
What?
back in the 1800s. You know what that argument was?
What?
They're not human.
They're not human. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like,
What
wow,
what did what did
wow.
what did Democrats want to keep in the 1800s, Stephen? Do you know?
They
Where
wanted to
were
keep
they used where
slavery.
they yeah, where they said that they were not human. That they were counted as 3/5 of a person.
Ugh.
That wasn't the Democrats. That was the Republicans trying. Actually, I'm not sure if that was the Republicans. It was the way of getting. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They're not humans though. Is basically what they said the entire time, and now they're saying it again.
Democrat.
And I remember
Mhm.
I remember I posted a while ago. It was an image, and it was like if you're arguing for abortion today, you wouldn't have argued against slavery back in the 1800s. And I had people legitimately block me. I'm like
Yo.
I'm like they're the same. It's literally the same exact argument. You're saying they're not human when they very
Yeah.
clearly
Wow.
are.
Yep. Exactly.
And hey, I don't have to deal with people like that anymore, so they hate it. They hate the argument.
They.
Now,
It's a threat to the system. It's like literally, you're just Tim. You're like just being a threat to like their contradictions, and that's why they don't like it. They don't like to be told that they're wrong.
and so me personally, I try and stay as morally as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
There are some things that I will draw exceptions for. Um, but usually I try and stay very consistent. Me and Stephen actually had a conversation about moral consistency at the beginning of today's episode that I am not going to include. We'll talk about it in the next episode because it is a very interesting topic now that we look at it. But like I said, we're gonna save that for later.
Yep.
But that's pretty close to the end. Stephen, did you have anything for us today?
Well, the thing is, all
Oh,
I could say about the Supreme Court case is like, I don't think that abortion should be very. I don't think abortion should be that hard to argue against. Like, life begins at conception. It's not a woman's choice because the baby's body is in her womb. So therefore, a woman shouldn't have the right to commit an abortion because then she'd be taking the life of a baby. That's not a hard. That's not that hard of a rule to follow. Of course, people are gonna make it complicated. The only reason why the abortion issue has been is hard is quote unquote hard to argue against is because there are people who made it that way.
yeah, yeah.
That's just
There's
stupid.
there's been a very there has been a very effective attempt at blurring the lines of morality.
Yep.
Um,
And like, okay, they resort to like the whataboutisms. Like the liberals, every time
and
we
every
say like
and we
the
we talked
whataboutism.
we talked about whataboutisms before this episode too. That was one of the things we talked about. All of their whataboutisms are very
Yeah.
clearly disproven, though. Their whataboutisms are
Yeah, exactly.
incest, rape, danger to the mother or child. In cases of, I think it was and viability, and viability.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
in cases of incest, I think it's less than 0.5%. In cases of rape, it's less than 1%. In cases of danger to the mother, um,
Mhm.
very low, very low. Um,
Mhm.
Most of them are just going in and saying, "Hey, I had sex. I don't want a child. Can you give me a pill or something?" That's what a majority of them are. And then the whole viability thing, I couldn't even find stats on viability.
Mhm.
So, um, their
Yep.
whataboutisms don't work. My whataboutisms do work, Stephen. Because
Yep, that's
I did
true.
have you thinking. I did have you thinking about it. We're not gonna get into it. We'll talk about it next episode. Um,
Yeah, but anyways, that's I think I'm just done.
yeah.
Honestly.
It seemed like it went by quick. It was the same way for the last episode. It felt like it went by really quick, but we got a good hour in last episode. Um, so yeah, did you have anything else at all?
Yeah, other than like, you know what? If you want to follow us on Instagram, follow me on my Instagram at the conservative one too. I post a lot of conservative content, even faith-based content, because it's important that we as Christians, like as a Christian conservative, I balance my faith, my politics. You know, faith and politics, you know, they can go hand in hand if you use it the right way. So
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram. Tim, where can we follow you?
All right, so you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Lord Tim Holtz, and you can also follow me on Instagram at the Red Rebellion. So yeah. Other than that, check out us at the Conservative Input on Instagram and follow. Oh yeah, follow us there. Subscribe to the channel if you're here and you want to see regular content. Hit the bell if you want to get notified about it, and yeah,
Yep.
like and make sure you go down to the comment section and tell me whether I should quit school to be mall Santa because I was very serious
Guys,
about that. I
guys,
was
guys,
very
just
serious
tell
about
him
that.
now.
I was serious about
Tell him
that. I
now.
want to know. I want to know.
Anyways, and also follow us, follow PragerU, follow Prager Force. Like that's how me and Tim we met, but we are not sponsored by them. We are not sponsored
Yeah,
by Prager Force, but we connected through this organization. It's a great way. Prager Force is a great way for young people, for like for high school age, college age, or even young professionals to like connect, you know, discuss issues on you. And they
yeah.
have a lot of good events for young people in general to connect. And so yeah, follow Prayer Force on Instagram, follow PragerU on Instagram. That's it.
And they also do have Twitter and a YouTube. Yeah, every once in a while you'll see me wearing some Prager Force merch or PragerU merch, or you used to be able to see my PragerU flag in the background. It really is an amazing thing, you know,
Mhm.
because me personally, I live in a town with a lot of people. A lot of them are
Mhm.
conservative, but a lot of the very loud ones are liberal or leftist, to be more accurate. And it's nice. It's nice to actually meet people who share your beliefs and ideas, regardless of if you're a conservative, a libertarian, or hey, even a liberal. Um, I'm not super on the left, but I do share a lot of opinions with the left when it comes to let me be. Um, Other than that, I don't like authoritarians though. Left
Oh,
authoritarians, those are all
hey.
commies. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Tim, are we gonna have a
Steven, I
debate on this?
forgot. I forgot you're authoritarian. But anyways, yeah, like,
We'll have this
comment,
debate later.
subscribe,
Anyways, yep.
follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, and everyone have a nice night.
Yep. God bless you all. God bless America.
Adios.